Well, when you're dealing, especially for any organization that is dealing in a person-facing way, where it's not talking to other businesses, but you're actually engaging with people on a regular basis, especially if it's a service that's being provided, it's really important that there is somebody there on a regular basis. If you go on, if you're the main person who's in charge of social media and you're taking a week vacation, the organization isn't just going to go silent for a week. If the person answering the phone took a week off, that doesn't mean that phone doesn't get answered for a week. Somebody's going to cover that. I really believe in having some redundancy and having teams set up to do that, and there are a lot of tools to do that. The aforementioned or often mentioned Hootsuite is a really useful tool. It does have a pretty steep pricing structure that happens really quickly, so you can often only have maybe 2 or 3 people on it. But it's useful if you have a very small team to use something of that nature. And the nice thing about that is you can still keep the account, the Twitter account, you can keep those passwords safe. So that's a really important part of it. I always feel that it's good to keep those under lock and key, and everybody creates their own account, and that way you can then, they create their own account in Hootsuite or whatever program you're using. There are a few out there, and then they're given access to the account. So it's nice to have, hey, Fridays I'm not going to be in on the office, so make sure that somebody's checking it for you on Fridays. Make sure that you respond to any questions, make sure that any mentions are thanked and that there's some feedback. Again, if people want to be generating content, awesome. The more people that are involved in that, the easier it is on everybody to spread that work around. But if people don't feel comfortable doing that, or they're a little intimidated by speaking for the voice, at least having them willing to answer and to respond is a really important part of maintaining a consistent and a regular voice. When somebody's asking you questions and you disappear for 3 days, it's kind of hard to talk, to keep that conversation going. So for the teams, I like to give a few other people access. And some of these tools, CoTweet is another one, COTWEET, that, and Hootsuite as well, both allow you to assign tweets to people if there's something that's in somebody's expertise. You can assign messages to them to respond to. You can assign Facebook posts, etc., those sorts of things. And I also like to assign days. Like, I'll be doing these 4 days a week. These 2 days are yours, and this other one day is somebody else's, or times of a day. If somebody comes in early and they're there from 6 until 3 o'clock, well, maybe you can take a look in the morning, and then somebody else can check and look in the afternoon, and they'll make sure they check in at least once in the afternoon, so if they're there until 7 o'clock, they can take a look before they leave.